Hi, good day. My name is Rylan Reed. I'm with a company called Clear Direction Indigenous Consulting and Facilitation Services. And if you made it this far, your First Nation, or you as a health director, or you as a chief or counselor, or even a housing manager, probably have some interest in housing, the community housing relationship mapping tool that we've developed, and that we're working in conjunction with the Office of the Regional Chief of Chiefs of Ontario, and kind of getting word out for First Nations or other Indigenous communities to use. Uh, this tool is free of charge. The software is free of charge, and what we're gonna do here is, take this a video tutorial, just take you step by step as to how to use it, and hopefully it's gonna be able to help you out. So there's a couple ways that we can send this to you. If you're interested, what we can do is create a customized form for you with your First Nations name, and then we'll send you a email, and it'll look like something like this. And all you'd have to do is click on this blue button here, or what we can do as well is send like a mass link out by email. And I think that's kind of part of the plan too, is that there may be a link to YouTube, or in the comment section or description of the video, there'll be a link to it, or you by email as well, that you can access this. So all you would do is, and you've done it 100 times before, is click on this link. And this is the edit phase, or edit page for our tool here. And this is on, obviously in Google Drive. And this is Google Forms, and again, entirely free to use. But the first thing that I would do with this is I would go click on these three buttons that are vertical here, and I would make a copy of this. So when you make a copy, it'll look exactly like this again, and you'll be able to change the title, change names here, and as we go through the questions, you'll be able to change questions if you want to. Also, under here, I'll show you this quick as well, is that keeping in mind that not all your members on your First Nation may have email. You might have some elderly folk that don't necessarily use email, or your connections are no good up there. You can actually print this off as well. So this is what it would look like. And you print this off. It's all a one page. We could print it on either side, and you can take it door to door and hand it out, and have residents or members to fill this out and bring it back to you or your office. Or you could have your health staff go door to door and talk to people through the door to make sure you can capture all this information. So just wanted to show you that too. And once you have the information, you'd always obviously have to come back and put it into this form, and we'll show you how to do that in a bit. But first thing we want to do is kind of show you what the questions are that the information we're trying to gather with this form. So obviously the name of the primary tenants of the individual house that you're talking with, the address or house number of that particular housing unit. And you're gonna, if you don't have house numbers or streets or whatnot, you're gonna probably want to kind of get together with your health team or your housing team, or your emergency preparedness team, and kind of figure out where you want to start in terms, so you can kind of map it out along the way as to which house. And I guess if you're working with kind of a First Nation with around 100 units, just this name might be enough for you to know where that house is located, just by if it's Henry's house, then that might, or Henry Senior, Henry Junior, that sort of thing. Anyways, and so also you're gonna want to capture phone numbers here too, and maybe email addresses. And again, we know that not everyone necessarily uses email. This next question is how many people are currently staying in your home. This is really important to capture this, because we know on a number of First Nations that folks couch surf, and sometimes you have people coming in and out, and maybe they're in between work or coming from a different community, and they are kind of residing there for a little while. So We don't ask for family in this question. We ask for people. So, immediate family, extended family, boyfriends, girlfriends, or just, just friends in general. So we need to know how many people are there. Then we need to know their names as well of all those people, then so they correspond together. Then this last question is we're asking them to please list the people or households that you and everyone else currently living with you have face-to-face contact with on a regular basis outside of school and work. Now, you could change this outside of school and work. You could just cut it off right here and just say regularly. Oops. And just edit it that way. And regular too, we know, it might mean different things in different communities. Regularly might mean daily in some places, or it could be, every other day. That sort of thing. I know it's kind of subjective, but however you want to figure it out, and your community is going to know what you're talking about too when you say regular, eh? Okay, so like I said, this is the edit mode. So this is the view, or as to how you would fill it out. Say you want to put this on your community Facebook page or your community's web page, and have individual households fill this out. This is what they would see, except for this button right here, which is the edit button. And this is something that you would share with your collaborators, but when you're just sending it out for folks to respond to, this wouldn't be there. So just to show you how this works, I will just kind of add in my information here. So my name is Rylan Reed. I live in 26 Sapphire Place. My phone number, and if you have any questions, you might want to take a look at this or take note. 204-416-1373. And by all means, feel free to call us at any time if you have any questions or needed some assistance with this. Like I said too, you might want to capture email addresses. And here's mine at work. That the Gmail one is personal, but you can contact that one too if you like. I don't get too many anyways. So Rylan at cdfngov.com is my work email address. So just because this is just an example, and I'm staying in one of your communities, it's just be me. You're keeping me up there in the teacherage for a few months. Please list the names of everyone else. It's just going to be me. And please list the people, households that you and everyone else currently living with you have face-to-face contact with. So I'm probably going to be kind of a hermit when I'm up in your community, so I'm going to say no one. Okay, and so just like any other survey, once your members fill this out, or if you're having your staff kind of taking the information from printed copies and then inputting it, they're going to hit submit. And this is the page they're going to see. So if they have another one that they want to fill out, all you'd have to do is, and this would be mostly for your staff, is you would submit another response. Okay, so let's head back to the edit page. So we can see here, so these are your questions, and we can also track the responses from people filling this out. So, and this is what it looks like. It's all the names. That's the summary. These are the individual questions as to how do people answer it, as well as the individual responses too. Like say you wanted to save these or print them off. That's cool as well. Okay, but the biggest thing about this and how this really works is you're gonna want to click on this button right here, and it's in Sheets. So basically, it's the Google equivalent to Microsoft Excel. So we'll click on that. Oh, geez, copied this a couple twice. This is my second or third time on this, so you're gonna have to excuse me. I've been making some edits here. So here, I'll just delete this row right here. There we go. So yeah, like I said, it works just like a regular old spreadsheet. And it corresponds to the questions that were asked in the survey. So basically, once you hit submit, it populates the spreadsheet. So this is when the time that this was entered, the name of the primary tenant, the address, the phone number, the email, how many people is currently in your house, the names of everyone, and the people or households that folks in your house have contact with on a regular basis. So yeah, the one thing about this too is once you have this, you can go to File here and go to Download if you want, and it will save right into Microsoft Excel onto your main computer, your laptop or whatnot, right? So this information doesn't have to necessarily stay on the cloud like this, but yeah, so you can save it. You can save it as PDF. You can email it out. You can save it to as different versions. Say you might want to kind of have folks and or members kind of go through this, on a monthly basis or once every 3 months, but it provides you with those options as well. So, anyways, the main reason why we're kind of offering this up is that we know that there's a number of small to medium sized communities, First Nation communities that don't have very good cellular access, right? So some of the apps that are smartphone phone apps that the government of Canada or the provinces are putting out there, they may not necessarily work in your community. So this is a way that it helps you out with contact tracing, and it's also a way to help prevent the spread of COVID in your communities. So because you have all this information on hand already, like you're a couple steps ahead of the game as compared to maybe what the government of Canada or the provinces are doing, because you're ready to go. So let's say you do have a positive case of COVID in your community. So this is how this would work. And now all this stuff would be anonymous. Obviously your health team would probably know who that individual is, and they've signed confidentiality waivers. But let's say in this instance, I'm the health manager and I find out that Tyler Smith has tested positive. So if I was using a PC, I would hit Control F, but because I'm using a Mac, I would use Command F. Okay, so I would type in Tyler Smith's name, and here his name pops up a couple times through here, and it's highlighted, so it's really easy to see just where he's kind of showing up here. So Tyler Smith, it seems in this instance, lives in the house with John and April Smith, who must be their folks, right? So this is their address, this is their phone number, and we also know too that this household has regular contacts with this household. So this could be John dad, or it could be his brother, it could be his cousin, whatever, but we know that they have regular contacts. So me as a health manager, what I would do is, obviously I would call, Tyler hopefully would let his folks know, and, possibly his brother too, if that's Russell is his brother, to say, look, I got this positive test, so, we should self-isolate, you should all get tested. But you as, your health manager, you could go ahead and you can call Fred and Edith here and say, look, you've been in contact with, you possibly being in contact with someone that has tested positive for COVID. It's probably a good idea for you to self-isolate and get tested. Okay, so as we go down the list here, we also see that Tyler's name comes up with, with this household here, right? So, and this is Carl and Mary Johnson, and someone within this household, like one of their kids, sees Tyler on a regular basis. It could be Frida, they could be a boyfriend, girlfriend, or it could be Ken. Maybe they're, play hockey together or whatnot, right? Maybe they're good buddies and they do a lot of gaming or whatever. But anyway, so we know that there's contact. So as a health manager, because Tyler Smith's name has shown up here, I would call the Carl Johnson household, and you would have all their contact information right here and know where they live. Give them a shout and say, look, with all the work we've done with the community housing relationship mapping tool, that you may have had contact, or someone within your household may have had contact with someone that has tested positive for COVID. They're not living with you at this. That person that has that positive test isn't living with you, but someone within your household has probably had contact with them in the last few days. So it might be a good idea for everyone within your household to kind of hunker down and whatnot. Now, we also know that because, Carl Johnson and Mary Johnson also have regular contact with this Rob Johnson household. So you might want to do the same thing and give these folks a call too and say, look, it might be a couple degrees of separation, but you may have been in contact with, someone that has tested positive for COVID. So, you might want to act accordingly, right? So that's basically how this tool works, right? And again, this is showing you how you can save it to Excel or by PDF. You save the different versions or whatnot. So yeah, that's basically it. We're hoping this is useful for you. Again, like I said, there's no obligation on you to use this tool at all. It's just something that we thought might help out some, the northern remote First Nations that don't necessarily have very good cellular reception to use apps. And at the same time, too, it's just, to have all this information together, you're going to be on top of it in case you do have a link, and you just call and say, look, it's your health team will be able to mobilize a lot quicker than what may happen if you're using one of those apps anyways. And it's a kind of a made in community sort of solution for you, and it's all this information would stay within your community too, right? We would never see it if you use a link. And also too, if we were to send you by email a customized one, what we'd ask you to do too is we'd go back to here and ask you to we'd ask you to make a copy anyways, and then we would delete the one that we sent you, and so you have one to work with. But anyways, so I hope this helps. And again, you have our email, you have our phone number. Please give us a call, and yeah, hopefully, you don't will ever have to use this tool, but just in the sense that you do, or it could be used for other applications as well. In the spring or summer, when fire season comes up, it'd be good to know who's living in your households and who to call. But anyways, yeah, stay safe. And again, if this is useful for you, we're happy, and we're more than happy to provide you with any support you need. Okay, thanks, and take care.